If you've ever planted an avocado tree only to watch it slowly die, this video is for you. Because after nearly 20 years of trying every avocado growing trick in the book, I've realized something important. You could call it my holy guacamole moment. It's not just about soil, drainage, fertilizer, how much love you put into it, or even the climate. There's more going on beneath the surface, and it's something most home growers don't get told when they purchase an avocado tree. Today I'm going to break it down, showing you the latest Australian research, what industry does and doesn't say, and why so many gardeners are left scratching their heads thinking it's their fault, when in reality their avocado tree was likely doomed from the start. And at the end of this video, sadly, I'll tell you why, after all this time, I've stopped growing avocados. Let's get into it. Before I give you my quick background into my 20 years of avocado growing trial and error, I should acknowledge that yes, there are some places around the world and even in Australia that avocado trees grow really easily. It's kind of ironic. They seem to flourish without any problems and anyone's help. And avocados should grow well here because we live in a subtropical climate, and that's spot on the climate that avocados love to grow in. So imagine how confused, frustrated and disappointed I was to find I couldn't grow an avocado tree. Instead of having avocados on toast, my avocado trees were toast. In 2007, I remember planting out several avocado trees into our orchard straight into the ground, and I do recall the label saying disease-resistant rootstock on them. I think it was a Guatemalan rootstock or something like that, don't quote me. So yeah, I thought, oh, that's good, but I didn't really think about it that much at the time. And the trees grew nicely for about 2 years, and then they slowly died. It turns out that we have heavy clay under our topsoil, and avocados hate clay. So once the taproot grew down through the topsoil, it penetrated the clay, and this is where the problem started. So I did what any normal, sensible person that didn't have a big clue would do, and I dug a massive hole, removing a ton of clay, and then I backfilled it with good soil, organic matter, and mounded it up, and then planted an avocado tree on top of that. And after 18 months or so, that avocado tree also perished. What happened was that hole that I dug turned into a pond, and the clay on the sides and the base was perfect to not let any water out. So as soon as it rained, all the water would fall into that big hole, even though it was full of organic matter and all that, and those roots became anaerobic and it killed the plant. It seems obvious now, but digging down into clay soil was never going to work. So after that, I followed the common advice to build up your avocado tree in raised beds, containers, and individual mounds of good, well-drained, fertile soil. And again, some of the trees grew okay for a while. We got a handful of fruit here and there, but they slowly died. Even the ones in containers that were grown in premium potting mixes didn't grow well. And it wasn't just because some of them were planted in those wine barrels either. Then I discovered Phytophthora root rot, a soil pathogen that loves avocado roots with a name that still does my head in trying to remember it. Phytophthora, spelt with a PH. Anyway, that's when I started to become suspicious that maybe it wasn't just the heavy or clay soil, maybe it was a soil-borne disease. Phytophthora fungus is the biggest reason avocados struggle in the ground. And now I understand that no rootstock is truly resistant to it. So even if you do everything right, you buy an avocado tree grafted on resistant rootstock, you build it up, you mulch it well, you give it good fertilizer, you make sure the soil has good drainage and all that type of stuff, you can still fail because that pathogen is on your property and in your soil. Phytophthora kills avocados by destroying their fine feeder roots, so the tree slowly starves and suffocates underground. Other fruit trees like citrus and mango handle our soils far better because their roots are tougher and more resilient. Avocados simply don't recover once those roots are damaged. In September 2020, I decided to give avocado growing one last chance. So behind our shed here, I hilled up a whole heap of soil, about 7 meters by 2 meters and over 6 foot high. And I used several trailer loads of quality soil purchased from a landscaping centre in the hope that the avocado trees would have a better chance of growing in the introduced soil, free from any pathogens. I planted several different varieties with differing rootstocks, a bacon, reed, charwool, shepherd, linda, and even a huss home grafted onto seed rootstock. I thought this time I know for sure that these trees are growing in a Phytophthora-free soil. Fast forward to January 2026 and as you can see, they're pretty much all dead. This one here is dying, but that's rootstock coming up from the graft, so that's not even the original tree. And the only one that's going okay is this linda on the end here. But it's still got a fairly sparse foliage, and I fear that it is already infected by the Phytophthora virus, and it'll probably be a matter of time before it too carks it. And speaking about that growth after that graft had died, over the past 5 years, I've noticed something else, and that is how most of my grafted avocado trees seem to fail at the graft union first. And then the rootstock reshoots and sometimes grows well for several months after that. This is a good example because on this particular tree, it had died, and then I thought it was completely dead, so I just sheared it off at the base below where the graft was. So the graft had died up here somewhere, and I just chopped it off, and now you can see all this regrowth. It's like the tree was reborn. Yeah, the rootstock is more vigorous and all that. It's not going to turn into a very good avocado even if it does survive. But what I found was, yeah, even though that rootstock would rejuvenate and grow, it still ended up dying from the root rot anyway. So I think that avocado grafting is fickle at best and prone to failing as well. So when you add the likelihood of your tree getting diseases like Phytophthora and anthracnose, most people are lucky to get an avocado tree through to maturity. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The avocado industry have known for decades how hard it is to grow avocado trees, commercially especially. They don't really care, I don't think, about the average backyard grower. So they've been trying to find better rootstocks and ways to combat Phytophthora. In 2006, researchers found a Hass avocado tree in a commercial orchard at South Colin in Queensland that survived Phytophthora, which had wiped out almost all the other trees in that orchard. So apparently there was one tree that had survived and was thriving while all its mates had carked it. So they cloned and propagated the tree to make more trees with the same genetics. And this new rootstock, known by researchers as SHSR04, showed high levels of resistance to Phytophthora root rot in separate trials under intense disease pressure. So nearly 6 years on after that commercial trial, where are we now? Well, researchers now are still saying that although this rootstock shows really great promise and is far better than most other rootstocks on the market, even so, the industry admits it's no silver bullet, and that just tells you how hard it is to combat or find a solution to this disease. Yeah, I mean, maybe this one is starting to get some immunity. Fingers crossed. I doubt it. Yeah, and that's the other thing. This disease-resistant rootstock that's research-backed, it's only available to commercial growers anyway. It's not available to us home gardeners. And there's an intellectual property layer to that as well. Breeders have secured breeders' rights and licenses are needed from certain nurseries to be able to propagate these types of avocado rootstock trees. So let's be realistic. Most of, if not all, of the avocado trees that you buy in the nursery are grafted onto substandard rootstock. They say it's resistant to some degree, but it's not very good at all. Nurseries don't usually label them with disease resistance info. They say good drainage, well draining soil, blah, blah, blah. Well, who doesn't do that? These days anyway. But all that does is delay the inevitable if the soil pathogen is present and the rootstock has no real defense. And here's another big reason why many of us struggle to grow avocado trees at home where the commercial growers don't. And that is because commercial avocado production don't just rely on good soil, a good area, good fertilizer, spot on irrigation and all that, plus a Phytophthora-free or resistant rootstock. They also, or many of them, rely on chemical intervention. Things like systemic fungicides, including phosphonate products, are commonly used to manage Phytophthora root rot, sometimes applied as foliar sprays, that's on the leaves, soil drenches, meaning they wet all the soil down around the trees, like soak it, or even trunk injections straight into the trunk of the avocado tree, and they do this regularly, probably every year or so, and that gets into the main vascular system of the plant and down into the roots. Now, this isn't a criticism of growers, it's just the reality of how avocados are commercially kept alive in disease-affected areas. But for an organic home grower like me, chemicals are out of the question because I don't want to grow with chemicals because I want to grow organic, but also I don't want to go through the complications of storing chemicals and trying to administer chemicals into the plants. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm not trained in that area. Plus, I don't want to fork out the costs of chemicals to get a backyard fruit tree going or keep it going. So when people say just improve drainage or just mound it up, they're leaving out a big part of the picture. Because without chemical support or genuinely resistant rootstocks, many avocado trees planted at home were never really on a level playing field to begin with. So here's where I'm at. I've planted avocados for almost 2 decades. I've mounded them up, I've hilled them up, I've brought in soil, I've tried everything I possibly could within my power to get constant supply of guacamole, and I've failed. So I've finally accepted that I can't reliably grow avocados here, at least not until a true Phytophthora-resistant rootstock is widely available for home growers. If one day someone brings out an avocado grafted onto really disease-resistant rootstock and a proper graft that holds well and grows well, well then I could be convinced to giving avocados a go, but I doubt that's going to happen in my lifetime, unless maybe AI has something to do with it. But until that happens, I'm going to focus my energy on the fruit trees that actually grow well here, like citrus, mangoes, and pretty much everything else besides avocados. If you've had similar struggles with avocado trees and you've overcome them or you haven't, let me know in the comment section below so we can all read it and compare notes, and who knows, you might have some wonderful ideas on how to grow them better. If I've saved you from planting your 5th avocado tree in a row that's going to be mortally doomed, well then, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a big guacamole bowl of it that I'm going to hook into, probably from supermarket avocados. Luckily, avocados, by the way, even though I talk about chemicals being used, avocados is one of the better fruits. It's one of the top cleaner 15 that I talked about so don't let this put you off eating avocados. They're quite a good and healthy fruit to get from the supermarket or from the grocer or from wherever. So yeah, let me put that in. But at the same time, yeah, give the video a big guacamole thumbs up and visit my store, our new merch store, and also we're selling products now. Maybe you could grow a small dwarf avocado tree in one of our citrus or fruit tree planters. That's from Vego. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Cheers.